Okay, in this video, I wanted to first off say that, I don't wear the same clothes every day. In fact, I'm just doing all those videos at once on the same day. So it's all coming straight out. It comes from my subconscious mind, as I've discussed before. So everything that I don't tire particularly, my body might look different, and the light might change purely because it's coming through the window and at different times. But what I wanted to talk to you a little bit about now is about adventure. And how you have to see life as an adventure. And it's better to see life, if you can see, some of these people, they've got like a schedule, like ranges out for 6 months. This is what I'm going to do there, here, here, here. And they feel comfort in the fact that they've got this schedule. Now, for me, the true pleasure of life is to be not knowing what's going to be happening the next day. It's like being an explorer of life. You don't know, and you know the opportunities are all around you, and you can start to look for those opportunities, and you can start to explore life in such a much more free way and a more open way. Whereas if you start to lock yourself into this program of routine and addiction, then you kind of get subservient to life. You start to drop down in your energy level, and you become subservient to your environment. And what you've made that environment to be, and how you see yourself in relation to that environment, rather than being a free thinking, I call it a free radical thinker that can really do what they want in life and think what they want in life. It can get you into trouble, but also there's somehow, if you do adopt the process, you're kind of protected in some way. I don't know. It almost sounds like that there's a person or a being or a consciousness that is protecting you for a certain cause. I've been in many situations in life. I've travelled all over the world, and one of the things I did do was I thought at one stage in my life, I think it was about 30, and I thought, I'm going to go and make money. And where could I make money? The best place to make money is after someone's been at war, because there's lots of opportunities. So I thought, okay, I'm going to go to Beirut. Terry Waite had been a little while after the war, probably a bit too long. And he'd just been released from being, 3 or 5 years stuck in a room. And I thought, okay, there's a place to go, all right? So I had to delay going there. I got this position, which was a contract position as a salesman, as a project manager. And I had to go and set up a business in Beirut from scratch. There was no one else supporting me. It was for an Egyptian company. And I had to delay going there because the Israelis were dropping bombs on Beirut at the time, so it wasn't really a cool time to go. Anyhow, I got on this plane to Egypt, and then I can remember the first time in Egypt. It was the first time I'd ever been to the Middle East outside of England or going to Spain, which isn't really the Middle East. But and I remember in the morning, it was about 5 o'clock in the morning, and these bloody loudspeakers were going, and I went out to the balcony and I said, "Shut up. Yeah, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm trying to get some rest here." And really, it was the Muslim prayers. And the Christian said to me the next day, "You can't do that. You can't say these things because people aren't going to be very happy with you. They might kill you." And I said, "Oh dear, that's not so cool." And I spent a lot of time after that talking to Muslims about their religion and finding out the inconsistencies and what they believed in. Great religion, because in the end of the day, it is a way of life of goodness, but ultimately it gets twisted a lot. Exactly the same as Christianity was in all over the years. Everybody goes to war because God's on their side, yet God's on everybody's side all at once. And it's a bit silly, really, but you'll know that. But anyhow, I ended up in Beirut. And I was setting this company up, and I had 2 Egyptian kids with me who couldn't really speak English that well. And they'd never been out of Egypt, so they were being corrupted slightly by the Lebanese lifestyle. One became a bit of an alcoholic, and the other one was shagging around like you wouldn't believe. And one day, in the offices that I had, there was electricity was a problem, and you had 2 sides, 2 huge, great offices where you had all these people coming for presentations and things, and in the evening, and in the summer, it was really hot in Beirut. It was really hot, and in the lift, it got really hot, and it didn't have a door on it. It was just one of these little lifts that you all got in and just went up 4 floors, and one of the problems was that I could only put a central heating sort of like an air conditioning phase on one side. So when people got in the lift, sometimes it would blow the phase, and the only we were stealing electricity through a black market guy who actually looked like the devil. He was a lovely guy, but he looked like the devil, and we had to ring him up and say, "Could you go and steal, fix the phase over on that other building so we can get our electricity?" Because we were like, he was trying to steal it from somebody else, and we weren't connected at that point to the mains. it was a real kind of like on the edge kind of situation. And one day he said to me, because he didn't speak very much English, but through a translator, he said, "Do you want to go to the mountains for lunch?" And I said, "Well, okay." So when I got there, outside there was like a range of 4 Range Rovers, all with these guys that big guys that I'd never met before. All couldn't speak English, and we all got in the cars and drove up to the mountains, and we're going for about, I don't know, 3 hours into these mountains. And I was thinking at the time, wasn't it a good decision to get in these Range Rovers? The Terry Waite thing was coming to my mind or whatever, and I was dealing with the guys in the black market quite a lot. And suddenly we got this wasteland of an expanse of things where it was just nothing there in the middle of nowhere. And they stopped the cars, and we kind of got out. And I thought, oh dear, what are we getting out for? And they went around the back of this Range Rover, and then they opened the boot and they got out these guns, and there was like Kalashnikovs and automatic weapons. And I thought, now am I the bunny rabbit that's meant to run? Didn't say, you get all these imaginations come to you, and you go, like, you've read and you've seen this stuff on the media, and you go, oh dear. And then one of them came up to me and he said to me, he gave me a gun, and he gave me this automatic pistol. I'd never held one before. And then they started throwing bottles in the air that you could try and shoot. And it was a fantastic day. I mean, we went for this restaurant up in the mountains, and it was like you have fish in these little troughs and stuff. And it was really good. But what I'm trying to express to you is that, being an adventurer in life, it takes you to all different places and meeting completely different people. And you start to see people, and they become great friends that you would never otherwise know. Otherwise, you tend to stick in this little circle that is your comfort zone, my friend down the pub that I know, or my circle of friends, my best friend. And these are the people that compress your future into what your expectations. It's how your environment compresses you down. So to think with an open, expansive mind is what all this is about, and to start to see that, wow, I could do really anything I want. And even though right now you might think, but I've got this and I've got that and I've got the other, I've got the kids at school, there are ways to break free of this, to break free of what society says you have to be, and start to create the future you want. So you can reach financial freedom. You can start to go, okay, I don't have to go to work anymore. I don't have to be in business for myself. I've suddenly got what's called a residual income, or a passive income coming in from somewhere else. And that's what the wealth activation system is going to teach you. You have to set it up in such a way. But what the great thing is that the internet allows you to do that, because it allows you to reach beyond your comfort zone to so many people, like I'm reaching to you right now. And you can do it so easily. It really is easy. But you just need to go through some basic steps and get there, and work with some other people to help you. All right? So I'll see you in the next video.